Hey there, welcome to day 1757 of What's You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, documenting the journey as I originally transitioned from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business, and a little bit of back and forth again. In 2017, following my divorce and disseminating and divesting ourselves of all of our mutual assets, because we did have a lot and a lot of businesses and properties together. It took a while. I decided I'm definitely old enough to retire, but I didn't want to. I wasn't ready to just settle down and travel and have fun. Now, most people would say, are you crazy? But I'm one of those people, I've learned it from my dad, that I like work. I like being busy. I like contributing. I like doing what I can to make the world a better place. I know some people think that that's absolutely nuts, but I think we all need to do what we can to make life, and our lives especially, something that we enjoy, something that we're proud of. So today is actually my dad's birthday. He passed away in 2015, and just a couple of days before Christmas, so it was a really hard time. One of the things we did at his funeral was we shared what we call Einerisms. My dad's name was Einer, and it was just, we had a board where we all wrote down on Post-it notes, because he worked at 3M for most of his career, different things that he said that had an impact on our life. And one of the most popular, most common phrases that showed up on that was, there's no such thing as can't. From the time we were little girls, my sisters and I, my dad would encourage us to be independent and figure things out and know that there's always a way for something to happen if we're willing to put in the time and the energy and the effort to make it happen. So he would often say to us whenever we asked, or whatever he would catch us saying, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't figure out this math problem, I can't write this story, I can't go to this college, I can't get this job, whatever it was. Usually the first response out of his mouth would be, well, there's no such thing as can't, or there's no such thing as can't. And I think that's one of those wise sayings that comes from experience that hopefully our parents teach us, and we take that lesson throughout our life and we actually apply it throughout our life. I know it saved me a lot of false belief and wasted time and energy thinking that I couldn't do something, and feeling sorry for myself, and actually spending time on finding the solutions and figuring things out versus wallowing in self-pity or self-loathing because I couldn't figure something out. So our no-nonsense November for today, it's November 15th, the 15th day, the middle of the month, for sharing one piece of life advice that I personally learned every day in our BU 365-day challenge, to do one thing every day that improves us in some area or aspect of our life. We spent the first 9 months of this year focusing on different areas and aspects of our life and going through different exercises and using different tools in each of those areas so that we could go from where we are to where we want to be physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, with respect to relationships, communication, confidence, and contribution. What are we adding to the world, right? Because there's a lot of people that just take from the world and don't really add a whole lot of positive back. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be one of those people. So for Supersize Your Business for female entrepreneurs, I shared a bunch of different can't idioms, because there's no such thing as can't is actually not an idiom. It's just a saying. It's also the title of a book. I think Christopher Reeves even said it after breaking his back and being paralyzed, falling off a horse. But I say my dad said it first. He said it when we were little girls, and that was long before Christopher Reeves said it. But it's a great life philosophy. It's a great reminder that our initial thought is often, this is too hard. I don't want to put in the effort and energy. I can't do it. But really, can't we do it? Or is it just not a priority for us? I think of when I was in my early 20s, I was a tennis player when I was younger. And in my early 20s, I lost the vision in my left eye from a lot of weird stuff that happened. And so I became blind in my left eye, which made it pretty darn hard to play tennis because your depth perception disappears when you can only see out of one eye. So I tried for like 10 years on and off to play tennis because I really loved to play tennis. It was great exercise. It was fun. It was challenging. But I'll tell you what, with one eye and no depth perception, missing the ball by 3 feet or more every time I swung at it was a little bit frustrating. And so I finally decided that playing tennis was no longer a priority for me. Could I have figured out a way to compensate for my vision challenges? Sure. But I consciously was not willing to put in the time and energy and effort to master that activity given my new capability or lack of capability visually. And we have to do that with everything. And there's a big difference between saying this is no longer a priority or important to me than it is to say I can't do it. Because I'm 100% thoroughly convinced that if I so choose, I could figure out a way to play tennis and still play tennis without, well, maybe not now because I'm actually legally blind. That just added more challenges. So maybe when I did make that choice and decision, it was just a matter of time before it was like, yeah, most blind people don't play tennis. But blind people do all kinds of stuff, right? Pretty much anything you can imagine that doesn't require super duper great eyesight. But guess what? There's so many tools and things nowadays that are available to help visually impaired or blind people and people with any difference. There's ways to figure it out. So that was our idiom, not idiom today, as well as the topic for our annual challenge. So I challenge you today to think about something you catch yourself thinking, because maybe you don't even say it out loud, but you think, I could never do that. I can't do that. I can't talk to that person. I can't make that call. I can't go there. I can't do this thing. I can't wear that. And ask yourself, is that 100% true? Or is it a preferential choice I'm making? Or is this thing just not a priority for me? So I'm not willing to figure it out or put in the time and energy and effort to make it a reality in my life. So that's our fun little challenge today. Have a great day. If I can help you in any way, ask. You can always Voxer me at pajamagrandma@gmail.com. If you don't know what Voxer is, you can figure it out. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.